You've probably heard it 1,000 times. Drink water first thing in the morning. It's one of the healthiest habits you can have. And honestly, for many years, I believed that too. Until I started seeing what really happens when older adults follow that advice without realizing how much our bodies change as we age. I used to think, it's just water. What harm could it possibly do? But then I watched patient after patient, seniors in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, wake up, drink water the way they always had, and suddenly feel lightheaded, chilled, bloated, or just plain off. That's when I realized, it's not the water, it's how we drink it that matters. And that matters even more as we get older. You see, after working with hundreds of seniors over the past decade, I've learned that the first 15 minutes of your morning can either set you up for energy or leave you drained before the day even starts. Let me ask you this. Have you ever taken a big gulp of cold water right after waking up and felt your stomach twist? Or maybe a strange chill shoot through your body? That reaction isn't random. It's your body responding to a shock it wasn't ready for. Especially after 60, your digestive system, blood vessels, and hormonal balance all become more sensitive. That means the way you hydrate in the morning, something you've done all your life, may now be throwing your entire system out of balance. And if you've been feeling off lately without knowing why, stick around. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 5 common mistakes seniors make when drinking water in the morning and, more importantly, how to fix them. I'll explain what's happening inside your body, share real stories of seniors who've made small changes with big results, and give you clear steps to protect your energy, your digestion, and your peace of mind. Because what worked in your 30s or 40s might be working against you today. Our bodies evolve. Our routines should too. If this message is already striking a chord with you, do me a favor. Hit the like button to help more people find this, subscribe for more tips on senior health, and comment below. What's your current morning routine? Is it water, tea, coffee, or nothing at all? I'll be reading every comment, and I'd love to know what your mornings look like. So grab your favorite mug, settle in, and let's start uncovering what your body has been trying to tell you all along, beginning with the #1 water mistake I see in seniors every day. Mistake 1. Drinking ice-cold water on an empty stomach. Have you ever taken a big gulp of cold water in the morning and suddenly felt your stomach twist, or maybe a chill run down your chest? You might have dismissed it as nothing, or worse, thought it was a good thing, your body waking up. But as someone who's spent over a decade helping older adults build healthier morning routines, I can tell you this, that strange feeling may be your body's way of begging for something gentler. When we sleep, our bodies enter a deeply restorative state, organs slow down, digestion pauses, blood vessels constrict to conserve warmth. It's a fragile moment. And when you shock that system with ice-cold water, especially on an empty stomach, your body reacts defensively. Stomach muscles tighten, blood vessels constrict even more, and your nervous system kicks into high alert. That reaction, while manageable in your 20s or 30s, becomes much riskier as you age. With slower circulation and more delicate digestive function, seniors can experience cold hands, bloating, dizziness, and fatigue, all triggered by something as simple as water that's too cold. I remember Eleanor, a sharp and independent 76-year-old who told me she started every morning with a glass of cold water straight from the fridge. She thought it helped her wake up, but then she began noticing sluggish digestion, cold extremities, and a dip in morning energy. When I suggested she switch to room temperature water and let her body ease into the day, she was skeptical, but within a week, she felt a remarkable difference. Less bloating, more warmth, and a steadier start to her mornings. It wasn't magic. It was mindfulness. If you've been starting your day this way, maybe it's time to pause and rethink. Try leaving a glass of water out overnight. Sip it slowly in the morning. Better yet, drink it warm. Your body deserves that kindness, especially now. And if this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. Have you ever felt strange after drinking cold water on an empty stomach? I read every reply because the best insights come from real stories like yours. Now that we've talked about the impact of temperature, let's explore another silent disruptor in your hydration habits. How the speed at which you drink water could be silently draining your energy and leaving you off balance without you even knowing it. Mistake number 2. Drinking water too fast or in big gulps. Let's be honest, when you wake up feeling thirsty, it's tempting to grab that glass and chug it down in one go. Your mouth is dry, your throat parched, and that first sip feels so satisfying that you don't stop until it's empty. But here's what most people don't realize. Drinking water too quickly, especially first thing in the morning, can throw your entire system out of balance. I've seen this countless times in my work with older adults. It's not just about how much water you drink, but how you drink it. When you wake up, your body is still transitioning from its resting state. Your heart rate is slowly rising, your blood pressure is adjusting, and your stomach lining is still sensitive from the night's fasting. Slamming it with a full glass of water in 5 seconds flat is like opening the floodgates without warning. That sudden volume expansion in your stomach can cause bloating, nausea, or even a strange flutter in your chest. Your kidneys, caught off guard, are forced into overdrive to process that sudden rush, and your electrolyte balance can be thrown off just as your body is trying to stabilize. Walter, a retired football coach I once worked with, used to down a full bottle of water the moment he opened his eyes, thinking he was being disciplined, even healthy. But almost every other morning, he felt dizzy, slightly disoriented, and couldn't figure out why. His doctor didn't see anything medically alarming, but when we looked closer at his routine, the answer became clear. It wasn't what he was drinking, it was how fast he was doing it. Once he started sipping his water slowly over 15 to 20 minutes, the dizziness disappeared. His mornings became more stable, his energy more consistent, and for the first time in years, he said he felt comfortable waking up. That's the beauty of mindful hydration. It doesn't demand dramatic change, just a shift in awareness. So here's what I want you to do tomorrow. Sit up slowly, take a deep breath, and sip your water like it's medicine, not a task to rush through. Let it settle in your body. Give your organs the chance to wake up with you. And if you've ever felt lightheaded or unsettled after drinking water in the morning, comment below and tell me about it. You're not alone, and your story might help someone else realize what's been going on in their own routine. Now that we've covered the speed of drinking, let's talk about what you're drinking from, because your water bottle might be adding invisible risks to your health that you've never even considered. Mistake 3. Drinking from plastic bottles left out overnight. Now let's talk about something that seems harmless: keeping a water bottle by your bedside and sipping from it in the morning. It's convenient, it feels like a healthy habit, and you probably don't think twice about it. But here's what most people don't realize: that plastic bottle, especially if it's been sitting out overnight in a warm room, could be leaching chemicals into your water and your body. I've seen this issue come up over and over again with older adults who were doing everything else right. They drank enough water, avoided sugar, took their medications on time, but still felt off. Tired, bloated, foggy, even moody. And they couldn't figure out why. That's when we look closer at the quiet details. Like the water bottle that's been reused for weeks, sitting near a lamp or heater made of low-quality plastic. What many people don't know is that plastic breaks down over time, especially when exposed to heat. And even BPA-free bottles can contain other endocrine-disrupting chemicals that mess with your hormones, energy levels, and digestion. This matters even more if you're in your 60s or 70s, because your body is already working harder to keep hormonal balance, regulate blood pressure, and support liver and kidney function. I remember Stanley, a dedicated 78-year-old who came to me feeling constantly drained. His labs were fine, diet unchanged, sleep decent, yet he woke up groggy, foggy, and frustrated. After ruling out the usual culprits, we finally traced it back to his water bottle, an old, reused plastic one, sitting overnight beside a warm lamp. Once he switched to a glass bottle and poured fresh water each morning, everything started to shift. Within 2 weeks, his energy lifted, his digestion improved, and his mornings felt clearer, literally. It wasn't a supplement. It wasn't a medication. It was removing an invisible irritant his body had been fighting silently for years. So if you've got a plastic bottle next to you right now, take a moment. Look at it. Ask yourself how long it's been there, how many times it's been refilled, and whether it's sitting somewhere warm. Then consider making the simplest switch of all: a clean glass bottle, fresh water each morning. It's a tiny upgrade that can have an outsized effect on how your body feels and functions. And if you've ever wondered why you still feel sluggish despite doing everything right, this might just be your answer. Share your experience in the comments if this resonates. Have you ever reused the same plastic bottle for days or weeks? What changed when you stopped? Now that we've uncovered what might be hiding in your water, let's talk about what happens when you drink too much of it at the wrong time, especially after taking your morning medications. This next mistake might be undermining the very pills you rely on to stay healthy. Mistake number 4. Drinking water immediately after medications on a full or empty stomach. Now let's talk about a habit that seems completely logical, but can quietly cause discomfort, digestive issues, or even interfere with the medications you rely on every day. I'm talking about drinking a large amount of water immediately after taking your morning pills, either on a completely empty stomach or right after a big breakfast. Most seniors I've worked with were never told just how sensitive that timing really is. And I get it. It feels like the right thing to do. Wake up, take your pills, down a full glass of water, and then move on with your day. But here's the part many people overlook. Your stomach in the early morning is in a highly reactive state. Its lining is delicate after fasting all night, acidity levels are still stabilizing, and even a small disruption, like too much fluid too fast, can cause bloating, nausea, or that uncomfortable feeling of your stomach churning for hours. I remember Margaret, an 80-year-old with a sharp mind and an equally sharp daily routine. Every morning, she took her thyroid medication with a tall glass of water, then waited exactly 30 minutes before eating. It was precise, it was consistent, but she started noticing nausea that seemed to come out of nowhere. Her labs looked good. Her diet hadn't changed. Yet every morning felt a bit more unsettled than the last. After going over her routine in detail, I gently suggested one change: reduce the amount of water she took with her pill to just enough to swallow it, and wait a full 45 minutes before eating. That small adjustment made all the difference. Within a few days, the nausea disappeared. Her stomach felt calmer. Her energy stabilized. And most importantly, her medication began to work more effectively. You see, when we drink too much water too quickly, especially right after taking medicine, it can dilute stomach acids, accelerate drug passage through the digestive system, and interfere with how medications are absorbed. And on the other side of the spectrum, if you take pills right after a large meal and wash them down with a huge glass of water, you risk trapping the pill in a digestive traffic jam, making it harder for your body to process both food and medicine efficiently. So what's the takeaway here? Mind the timing. Mind the volume. Mind the sensitivity of your body, especially in those first few waking hours. Instead of flooding your system, treat it with precision. Sip just enough to take your medicine. Wait at least 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the pill. Give your stomach space to reset. And always observe how your body reacts. No routine is set in stone, and the smallest adjustment might give you back the comfort you didn't even realize you'd lost. If you've ever felt off after taking your pills in the morning, comment below. What's your current routine like? Have you noticed patterns that didn't make sense until now? Now that we've talked about water, medication, and timing, let's look at a final mistake that many seniors unknowingly make: skipping breakfast entirely, thinking that water alone is enough to start the day. But without real fuel, even hydration can become a burden rather than a benefit. Mistake 5. Skipping breakfast and replacing it with only water. Let me say this up front. Water is essential, but it is not enough. Especially not when it's the only thing you give your body after waking up. I've met so many seniors, smart, well-informed, and health-conscious, who proudly tell me they start their day with a big glass of water and nothing else until noon. And I get it. You've probably heard about intermittent fasting, or maybe you just want to give your digestion a break. But here's what I've seen again and again. When older adults skip breakfast and rely only on water, their energy crashes, their mood dips, their memory gets foggy, and they can't figure out why. The reason is simple, but often overlooked. By the time you wake up, your body has already been fasting for 8 to 10 hours. Your blood sugar is low, your brain is running on fumes, and your muscles are begging for fuel. Yes, water rehydrates you, but it doesn't nourish you. It doesn't provide protein for your muscles, or glucose for your brain, or fiber to stabilize your energy. In fact, drinking water without food can sometimes make things worse, especially if it's followed by caffeine. You get hydration, stimulation, and absolutely no foundation. That's a recipe for lightheadedness, irritability, and afternoon crashes. Let me share Alice's story. She's 69, vibrant, independent, and always eager to try what's trending in wellness. She told me she stopped eating breakfast and just drank water until lunchtime, thinking it would help her lose weight and feel lighter. At first, it seemed to work, until she started forgetting words, repeating herself, and feeling anxious for no reason. Her daughter noticed the shift and gently asked her to see a doctor. Nothing major showed up on tests, but when we looked at her routine, the problem became clear. Her brain wasn't getting what it needed. No nutrients, no stability, just water. Once she started eating a simple breakfast, an egg, a slice of toast, maybe a few berries, her clarity came back. Her energy returned. Her confidence, too. The lesson here isn't to fear water, it's to pair it with what your body truly needs. After 60, your metabolism, brain chemistry, and muscle strength all depend on steady nourishment. Water helps carry nutrients. But if there's nothing in your system to carry, your cells are still starving. So tomorrow morning, I challenge you, don't skip breakfast. Don't treat food as optional. Treat it as a gift to your body, a sign that you're listening, that you care. And if you've been skipping breakfast thinking it's helping, let me know in the comments. What have you noticed? Energy dips? Brain fog? Or maybe a surprising sense of calm once you added a real meal back in? Your story might just inspire someone else to rethink theirs. Now that we've explored all 5 common mistakes, it's time to bring everything together. Because drinking water should be healing. But as you've seen, how you drink it, when, how fast, how cold, with what, can change everything. So let's wrap up with a few powerful takeaways and a message I believe every senior deserves to hear. OUTRO. Listen to your body. Adjust gently. Life stronger. If there's one thing I've learned after working with seniors for over a decade, it's this. Your body is always talking to you. The question is, are you listening? Sometimes it whispers through small signals, a bit of bloating, a light headache, a strange chill after drinking water. Other times, it speaks louder, morning fatigue that doesn't make sense, sudden dips in mood, or digestive discomfort you can't quite explain. The truth is, these aren't just random inconveniences. They're messages. They're gentle nudges from a body that's been through decades of life and now needs a little more care, a little more patience, and a little more personalization. Throughout this video, we've explored 5 of the most common mistakes I see seniors make when drinking water in the morning. And while each mistake might seem small on its own, together, they can chip away at your comfort, your energy, and your sense of balance. But here's the good news. Each of these habits is completely reversible. You don't need a prescription. You don't need a complete lifestyle overhaul. All you need is awareness and the willingness to make small, sustainable shifts. Switch the ice-cold water for something room temperature. Slow down your sipping instead of gulping. Trade that old plastic bottle for a clean glass one. Rethink how much water you drink after your medications. And above all, don't skip breakfast. These aren't just health tips. They're quiet acts of respect for the body that's carried you through life. They're signals that you're choosing to age not just with years, but with wisdom. And here's the part that truly matters. It's never too late to start listening. Whether you're 60, 70, or 85, your body is still adaptable. It still wants to thrive. It still responds to love, to nourishment, to attention. So don't ignore those little signs anymore. Start paying attention. Start making changes. And watch what happens, not just in your mornings, but in how you move through the rest of your day. If anything in this video spoke to you, if it made you pause, reflect, or rethink how you've been caring for yourself, please give this video a like. It helps us reach more people who may need these same gentle reminders. Subscribe to this channel for more expert-backed tips designed specifically for senior health and well-being. And most importantly, share your story in the comments below. What's one small change you're going to make in your morning routine starting tomorrow? What have you already noticed about how your body reacts to water? Your experience matters, and it might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, stay kind to your body, stay curious about your health, and remember, you deserve to feel strong, clear, and supported every single day.